Hey guys, so today we're going to make some sparkles in Substance. I'll be starting off in ZBrush and I'll be moving over to Blender, but you can just use ZBrush if you want. So this is the ID map that I have, and it's basically just paint from poly painting different groups. And if you have different things that you want texture, then you will definitely need that. So 2 groups. You can just clone it and export it this way, but it's better to use multi-map exporter because then you have more control over the size. So you can export your FBX this way, just bin, smooth normals, export. If you have normals that you want to export, then you can just keep that on, and then your texture from Polypaint, that's your ID map, so that's really important. And then just go create all maps. And I have map size 4096 and flip these on. And then for normals, subdivision 1, and then all of these on flip G. If you're exporting from sub 1, which usually would be. So I'm going to send this over to Blender. So I'm just going to shade smooth, and then if you want to create an ID map in Blender, it's a little trickier. I found I tried texture paint, which only works really if you have like multiple separated objects. But if you have something that has one object that has several groups inside of it, then vertex paint is better. So I'm just going to show you. This is going to be the tip. So yeah, I just clicked it, and then I went select vertex paint, and oh, I already did it, but I'll do it another color. So you want to have it on this one, and then Shift K. And then the other one I already did. So yeah, that's basically that. And you do want to do texture paint, then you would have it under sickle image. And then you just go new, select your map size, and then you just fill that way. Okay, so when you export it as FBX, and then I keep just under object type, only select the mesh, and then under limit to select objects. All right, now to Substance Painter. Okay, so one more thing you want to do in Blender is make sure that you have just one material. So under your materials, make sure you just have one, delete everything else. And if you have a whole bunch of texture paint and stuff, and maybe just make a separate file, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so in Substance Painter, file new, and then just leave the default ASM, whatever it is, and then select your file, your FBX, under resolution. I made mine 4096, and then under import settings, that's where you can add your normal map and your ID map. And you just click OK. I don't have either on this, so I usually work off of this side. If you hold down Alt, you can rotate, but the nails are so small that I'm just going to be working off of this. So click under texture set, bake mesh maps, change your resolution under output size. I'm unclicking normal map. And if you brought in normal map, you don't need to click. I would just leave this unchecked and just use your own. And then click on ID map. This is really important for Blender. Click on vertex color. If you don't click on that, you won't have your groups. And then for ZBrush, you already brought in the ID map, so you don't need to worry about that. So under your texture set, here, your ID map for ZBrush stuff, you'll be able to choose it somewhere here if you imported it. And then Blender, you'll already have it. So for this main layer, I'm going to have it as kind of like a well, the whole thing's going to be sort of metallic looking. So I'm going to go to metallic and bring that up. And the roughness, leave that there. And then for the second, this is where the ID maps will come in. So I actually screwed this up. That's why I have to do it this way. But if you click on this and then add mask with color selection means add mask with ID selection pretty much. So then if you're on this, click on this and then just select whatever group you want to do. So this color is going to be sort of and I want it to be metallic. So I'm going to bring this up, bring that down a little. And then another thing you can do, another way you can do the same thing is go over here to your materials, click on this. Oh, whoops. That works too, but okay, so if you click on it, like hold down your left mouse button and then hold down, what are you doing here? Hold down Control at the same time that you're dragging it, then you can just drag and drop all these materials. Same with these ones. And it will just apply it. See how I screwed that up? Okay, so for the sparkle part, I'm going to do that as a paint layer. And then I'm going to make it sort of a bit of a different, maybe like a pink color. And then it's going to be metallic as well. And under brushes, I found that this one looks the most like sparkles that I could find. The dots. Dots. I'm just going to make that brush a little smaller. Oh, and then this one, actually, I'm going to do this one as well with the color selection because I just want the sparkles to be on the main part of the nail. And then whenever you're done changing stuff, make sure you just click on your transparent layer because then you can paint again. Looks kind of metallic-y. And then maybe I'll do another color. And then to do the actual nail tips, I think, oh, you know what, actually, before we do that, I'll show you this. If you change the height, then you can have sort of a, like a raised effect, or you can sort of stamp it out as well. All right, so for the last part, I'm going to do another paint layer. This is going to be just for the tip parts. So I'm going to also do add mask with color selection. And right, I have to choose this. So under alpha, just going to do some little hearts. I click on it twice sometimes. I think I want these higher a little bit. And then the color. So if you change the jitter, oh, I have the jitter up already. So the size jitter, if you leave it at 0, everything is the same. But if you bring it up, then it will like randomize the sizes. That's pretty much it. Another thing that you could do is drag one of these over, holding Control. And then if you right click and then go, actually I can do it this way. If you go here, add black mask, then whatever you paint will show up. And then you could do your color selection as well. So you click on your brush. Move these. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so to export, go to File, Export Textures, and then you can just leave everything default. I usually change the bits to 16 bits, but it's up to you. And then my output template, now I'll be using Unity Engine 4-pack, but you can just leave it. If you are using Unreal 4-pack, make sure you go to your output templates and then near the very bottom, choose Unreal Engine 4-pack, one of those. I usually just do the top one, or opacity if you're using opacities, but then you have a lot of other things you have to do too. And then, oh, the one thing I wanted to mention was this is why you only wanted to have one material in Blender. When you export it, oh, I didn't even finish explaining that. When you have to go to export textures, and then you just click on export. So if you have several materials in Blender, you're going to have like 10 sets of these. So you'll have 4 to 6 maps for each one. So if I had these separately, then I would have 12 maps. So 6 for the copper and then 6 for the white part. And that's going to be a nightmare trying to put everything together. If you have like different parts, like a body and like a hair, I mean, even those could be one. But if you really do want it separate, then that's fine. But generally, I would just keep it like this. And that's it. So like and subscribe if you want, and hopefully see you in the next one.